smile. I've been waiting such a long time just for something.
Hello everyone, welcome back to 365 Days of Prog. Today we will be listening and reviewing Famous Last Words by the band Supertramp, but before that, enjoy the intro.
Hi, my name's Naomi. I'm an avid progressive rock fan, but I'm a long ways from knowing all the prog albums out there. But this year, I'm gonna give it a try. This is 365 Days of Prog.
So I went ahead and listened to this album, and these are my favorite bits off it. So it's not a lot, but it is pretty good, so have a go at it.
I've been waiting such a long time just for something to ring true.
So this album is a pretty cool album, I must say. Although I must say that I did not entirely love it, the fact is this album is so Supertramp, it's just amazing. Like, if you're a Supertramp fan and you're listening to all their albums and you're expecting them to release something on the same notes that you like because of what they do, then this album is totally that. Now, a bit for context, this album came out right after, like I think a year after Breakfast in America, which is one of their most, if not the most successful album that the band has released. Now, this one, it just goes straight on with the same type of music, you know, lyrically, musically, motively, everything is pretty similar. Did I just say similar? I think I just created the word. Like, is that a real word? Similar. This is a similar. I'm putting it on the screen. I don't know what it is. I found it like right now. So yeah, the musicianship and everything about this album is pretty similar to Breakfast in America. And if you're a fan of Supertramp, you're gonna love this album because it has all that you ever want. But when it comes to me, I think this album was kind of lackluster because it did not inspire me in any ways. The songs on here, at least most of them, sounded pretty much the same. They sounded as if they were repeating themselves, and nothing was really brand new. Like, coming from a progressive rock band such as Supertramp, although they did develop their style like more towards pop music, still the progressiveness was kind of missed on this album. That's exactly what I found. With that being said, my favorite song from this album would be Waiting So Long, because that track is pretty brilliant actually. It doesn't go all the way with being too experimental, but it does do something which I really like when a song does. It develops and it builds up on itself, which means you start off from one point which is pretty, you know, shallow, it's pretty soft as you might say, and everything just adds up to a conclusion at some point, and that's what that song does. Now, I'm gonna check to see if there's an elephant in the room. There is not an elephant in the room, but I'm gonna address it anyway, because the most known song from this album, as I understand it, is It's Raining Again. Now, I do get it's a good song, it's very catchy. I knew it before getting into this album. Like, I was listening to this album for the first time, and as I go along, I listened to that song, and in the middle I was like, I know this song. Yeah, I do know it. Yeah, I think I've heard it. I've heard it once. Yeah, definitely. It's a pretty good song, I think, but I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy it in the context of this album, and it wasn't that poppy or rocky to me, or progressive in my opinion. It was just, you know, kind of meh, and I assume that's what you get from a band that tries and recreate a sound which they've successfully made in their last album, and most bands do not do so well. Now, all in all, this album is good. It's really good. I'm just saying all of these things because I know other Supertramp music and I know what they're capable of, and I know that this one is not as high as others like Crime of the Century would be, and of course Breakfast in America. Before we move on to actually rating this album, I'm gonna talk about the cover itself, because this cover I think is my favorite so far when it comes to cover art. I just Love how it looks. By the way, I'm gonna show you a picture of it right over here so you can see it. I'm gonna move a bit to the side. So this cover, it's great, okay? It's fantastic. The colors on it, they're amazing. The symbolism, I think, is amazing. Like, everything about it just looks right, and I think it's pretty cool. I don't know how, I cannot explain how, but I just find that the cover art really fits the name of this album. Like, the famous last words idea just comes across in a cover like this, and it's pretty cool. You know what? I want to know who made this cover, so I'm gonna look that up. So the artwork was made by a person called Mike Dowd. I do not know who he is, and the Wikipedia article for him does not exist. So if anyone knows more about this Mike Dowd dude, you might want to go and write something on him on Wikipedia, because I think someone that can do a cover like that totally deserves at least a Wikipedia article. So all in all, this album receives a 6 out of 10 for me. So it's better than average in my opinion. It's not a great album by any means. I think it does not match up to its predecessors, but still, it's a really cool album, and I enjoyed listening to it. I just don't think I'm gonna listen to it all over again many more times, at least not in the near future. So that is all, people. Tomorrow we will be listening to From the Witchwood by the Strawbs, a band which I have not heard myself in a very long time, so it's gonna be a blast, at least I hope so. But until then, I hope you will all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow in the next video. Bye guys.